Hi, everyone. Welcome to the session. Let me introduce you all to the speaker. He is Musaddiq, a data scientist from BSP. Musaddiq develops digital solutions that make work faster, better, and cheaper. His talk will be about building and deploying machine learning model. And now I will pass the floor to Musaddiq.
Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Ahmad Mohammad. You can call me Musaddiq. As Chair has mentioned, I am a data scientist with PSP. Thank you for joining this session. So basically, I didn't prepare any slides. I hope this will not be a disaster. So basically, my plan is to do some live coding together. Although I've practiced or rehearsed a certain bit, but as you know how live coding goes, things can go really, really bad, really quick. So hopefully it will not be a disaster. So the objective of this, I just want to make sure the people in the room, can you hear me clearly? Okay, good. All right. So, so what are we going to build? So as you've read, we will be building a machine learning model. My hope is to demonstrate the end-to-end workflow, not just focusing on one aspect of building a model, which is just building a model, that's the science bit, but also to show the steps towards deploying it. And in this case, we'll be using, since it's a Google event, we'll be using Google Cloud Platform, GCP. All right. So in case, so also just to set the expectation, there'll be three parts to this talk, to this demo. The first part will be mainly doing an exploratory data analysis, EDA. Second part is when we'll develop, once we get the model, we'll move on to the second part, which is to develop the API, and we'll test it locally. And also the second part, we'll also containerize it using Docker. And finally, once that's pushing it to GCP, and hopefully you can see it. So what are you going to, all right, I will now share my screen. What are we going to build? I have a sample of what we can expect to see. And how do I know which screen? Wait. What I'll do is I'll just share my whole, share my screen. Okay, so so we will begin by doing an EDA. How do we do that? We'll do that by going to Colab first. The reason why I'm going to Google Colab, because I tried to set up my Jupyter notebook this morning. A series of bad events happened the past week leading to this day. For example, my MacBook, which I normally develop on, failed on me, and Apple decided not to, I'm not part of the recall program basically. So I'm left with my Windows machine, and I don't develop this as much. But basically, we'll make it work. We'll make it work. All right. So what we'll do is, how do I open new file, new notebook? Okay. So we will be using data from Data.gov.bn, and I think it will be interesting to just take something more relatable to us in Brunei, and and develop something out of it. I'll be using the population dataset, which is not much of a dataset, but it's good for us for this intensive purposes. It's right over here. Go ahead and download it. And once you have it downloaded, if you want to follow along, you can spin up your own Google Colab machine. And then what you can do is you can give it some time for it to initialize. So once that initializes, we can upload it in our notebook instance here. All right. Okay, so what do we do next? So basically, when I, as a data scientist, I receive a request from the business, hey, can you look into this matter, blah, 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 it may be anything. In this case, a population data set. And they say, okay, we want you to build a model they'll enable us to predict how the population of Brunei in a given number of years. Okay, so if you look, just have a peek at that particular data set over there. Just open that. This is how the data set looks like. Okay. Yeah, is everything okay so far online? Okay. Yep. So you see here the column. There's 3 columns: year, gender, number of persons. The year, there's 2018 male, 2018 female. Then it shows the number of person for that year. It goes all the way back to 2000, year 2000. All right. So this is a good start. We have some data we can play with. And now let's go to our Google Colab, and we can start. And normally the process is we load the data into using pandas, not the animal kind, but the software kind. So you can do that by import pandas as PD. All right, let's just start with that first, and then what we can do is let's load the data set. So df data frame PD, calling the pandas libraries, and then we call a specific function read Excel, because this is an Excel, and we feed in the file name, which is this one, population by gender, XLSX, and then since it's a Excel sheet, you have to feed in, sheet name as well. And the sheet name, you can get this, you have to take a peek into the data set, and there it is. Very odd how they name it. You know, I hate spaces, actually in this case, but we'll make it work. We run, okay, it's loaded, it's not complaining, it's there. And we can do df head just to pick the top 5 entries, and there it is. Okay, so we have it there. What can we do now? What I plan on doing is to create a linear regression model, and that's done by, if you recall from your school years, X and Y, and so we have to organize the data in such a manner. And this is not, it's not really doing it. So what I can do is I can separate create a new data frame, separating the male first, and you'll see the logic behind that. Gender, male. All right, okay, that's done. Let's see, let's take a peek. That's how it looks like. Okay, so we got all the males now, and then I'll create a new one, df2, data frame 2, the data frame pulling in the original data frame, and then df dot gender female. All right, and if I change this to, and that's okay. So now what I can do is I have these 2 data frame. I want to merge it on the year. Okay, so how I can do that? So I'll create another data frame again, df3, pd dot merge, and df1. So I'll create a list of what the data frames that I want to combine. Then on year column. And when I do that, and I list it out again, df3. Okay, so I've created a new table. Year, gender, so basically just list all the years, the gender X, the number for male, number of persons X, which is referring to male, number of persons Y referring to female. Wait, why def? Oh, sorry, it should be this one. Okay, there you go. All right, and then what should I do next? Okay, I want to rename the number of persons underscore X to refer to male. So how I can do that, and also the numbers of person Y to refer to the female. So I can do that by, so I'm going to rewrite the data frame 3, rename columns, and then feed in a dictionary of number of persons underscore X as male, and then number of persons underscore Y as female. All right, that should do the trick. And if you look back, if you look again at our data frame, it should be this. Okay, so we're getting there. So as you can see, we have a redundant this column, gender X and gender Y column. So what we can do is we'll just drop it. So dropping it is df3 drop. I'll feed in the column that I want to drop, which is gender underscore X. Yep, and gender underscore Y. Let's take a look again at the current data frame, and yeah, and it's all clean up. All right, so and finally, I want to add a new column to total both the male and the female, to give us the whole population of Brunei for that given year, and that's easily done by calling in data frame tree again, and then we want to create a new column which is total, and then so simply df3.male plus df3.female should give you the total. And if I go here, there you go. Okay, so getting there. So now all our data is cleaned up. If you recall, we started with this format, and then we've cleaned it up into this. So this is typically what we do normally when we receive a data set. It's calling the data processing or the data cleaning stage. And then once we're happy with our data, in this case, we'll look at whether the numbers make sense or not, whether there's any null values. But in this case, it's pretty okay. And we can now move on to the next stage, which is to train the model. So in this case, I'm going to train a new model, a linear regression model. But before that, let's just have a look at how the data set looks like. All right, and let's plot it up and see how it looks like. Okay, and for that case, I will need a new library, and that is import matplotlib.pyplot.plt. All right. Okay, matplot. All right. Something here. It's so far so good. Okay. Now I have matplot in, and matplot is the libraries used to plot the things, the data, and we can go for a scatter plot. The x-axis is year, and then the y-axis, let's go for male first, and that's how it looks like. All right, and now I want to put in the female data as well, data points. df3.year, df3.female. All right, so you can see that the data is pretty okay. We can put a regression line across it. You know, this is a very simple data to play with. And what you can do that, and how you can do that, to begin with, you need another library that's called Scikit-Learn. Scikit-Learn.linear_model import linear regression. Okay, then what I want to do is I want I want to predict every single, I want to create a line of best fit, as we learn it here. Okay, I can do that by regression 1. Call in the model linear regression, and then so normally I will have to fit in an x and a y, but in this case, I want to explain what I'm going to do next, but I don't think I have time or the luxury to do that. So I'll just type straight away what I wanted to do. So I want to fit. This is where I put in the x and y. Normally, intuitively you would expect me to just put in the year like this, and then a df3.female, but it doesn't work. It's complaining here that I need to reshape it a certain way. I have to move on. I'll do something here. I'll just type it there. I don't think I have time to explain it, but maybe if I have time, I'll get back to it and explain why it's expecting that way. So before that, I will need a import numpy, and numpy, and then I will have to put in this this magic string, not really magic, and then reshape it. -1, 1. Similarly to here, I have to do empty.array. One, and then reshape it again. Okay, and yeah, so that's my first model in. So that's for the male, and then that's for the female. Let me just do that male first. The male, female. Okay, it's there. So what it is? Sorry, not what is it? This is your model. So if, for example, I can do this predict 2020 for male. It's around 200 something. By 50 will be this 300. All right. So that's for male. Just to show that it's there. I can already have the model in, and now I want to plot this. I want to plot this inside here. So what I can do. This. Earlier we used scatter. Now we're going to use plot and plt.plot. We have 3.year, and then regression 1 predict. Then np.array. We have 3 year. Might right. Yep. Reshape, and so on. 1. Let's see. Hopefully, yeah. There you go. We got the first one, the first line in. Now the second regression, which is for female. Female. Oh yeah, I should just have to use this. And there you go. Great. We're at the first milestone. How are we with time, Ja? Okay, 1:30. Okay, so I need to move on to the API. All right. Now, I just wish I can explain more about this reg 1, reg 2 object, but basically that is the model, and then next is you want to serve it. You want to make it be able to as an API. What I mean as an API is I close it. All right, let me just. I forgot the link. So basically, what I want to do is I'll just go to my GCP. I hope I'm not showing anything sensitive here, or else it'll bite me. Cloud Run, and I have already created this earlier, and copy this. So this is what an API, a RESTful API looks like. It's not showing anything. Okay, we'll just wait. We'll just be patient. Okay, so if you hit this endpoint, this case, the index is here, but how you can use this is by I /predict, and then I put in 2020, then it lists me a male, female, total. And then if I go all the way to, do you know that, okay, let me just ask this in the room. When will Brunei reach 1 million population? No one knows? No? Sorry? No, it's actually, I think 120. Let's try that. Yeah, see? 2,120. So we'll reach a total of 1 million. So we want to create this. Okay, so we have this first part of the puzzle. Next, we go to developing the API. And for that, I will have to jump on my, okay, before that, so we have this model. This is your price, not this one. This is, okay, we have this. We have this, reg 1, reg 2. This is your, as a data scientist, this is your price possession, okay? So now we want to save it. You want to save it, so how do you save it? Pickling, I don't know if you heard pickling, but we pick if it's deserialization of object serialization. And what we can do that, how we can do that is we can I don't have import pickle. I need to put pickle in pickle dump, okay, reg 1, and then Yeah, and then open, and then yeah, okay, yeah, I'll just put it here as model mail dot pickle. Oh, sorry, that should be as a form of string. Form of string, and then yeah, fine. So it does. If you look here, is it doing pickle dump? Third one open. I don't know why it's not. Okay, let's do this. It's not doing what I expect it to do. So basically, you should see here, like what I did here. What did I write here? Let's just copy that. It should show here. I don't know why it's not show. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so that's your pickle file. You can do that similar one for female. For your female. Okay. You have that, and what you can do next is you can go and download it, and then we'll use that next on our next step. All right, on the next step we will be. What do I do to do? Okay, we will be going to CMD. Hopefully, I don't mess this up. Let's see here. Oops, sorry, something sensitive there. I don't think it is. Let's see what this. CD, okay, demo day. Oh, wait, I'll just create a new one. Make there demo 2. Okay, so code. All right, so we'll go here. I don't need this. Oh, sorry, I need this CD. Close this. CD demo 2 code 1. So we'll go on really quick after this. Let me just. Oops. All right. So what I'll do is I will paste my model here. There's that. Oh, sorry, I should have do this. Copy, put in my working folder, and I should see in my VS Code here. Okay, and I'll create a script, and that script we will name it. And then for that, I'll just do some housekeeping. Model, this here, remove, move, and then we will create a new tab.py. Okay. What do I do? Okay, so now we'll move on to that. Before that, I think I need to on the ENV list. Yeah, of course. Let's see what environment do I have. So basically, you need to have your environment set ready. But this is where all your what do you call that, libraries are loaded. Okay, first one. Okay. All right. So let's go move on here. So what we do? Okay. So we will need to import UVcorn. We'll be using this import fast API. Import API. Yes, okay. I also import pickle here. Okay. So let's load in our first model. It's situated here. Wait. Oh, sorry. I should move this out. Okay, so what I'll do is I will go in my model folder and then model. Okay, and then model 2, model, female.pl. All right. So, and then it's there now. You need to load that model in. Any questions, by the way? I know I'm babbling, but are you following through so far? Okay, so just to recap, the first stage was me on the Google Colab. So I created the model. Now I want to create that API, and you saw the API is in the form of this like this one. So this one. Oh wait, this one. So this is the me building the code for it. And what I've done up to this point, I'm just importing the necessary libraries that I'll be using. So in this case, I'll be using Uvicorn as a web server, the Fast API as the to develop the API. It makes it easier. If you're familiar with Flask, this is, well, people are saying this is better than Flask. It's much quicker to develop. It's much the performance are really good. And OS, the reason why I'm using OS here is because I will be accessing this model in my machine, so that's why I need the OS module. And pickling, I just because I'll be playing with pickle file. So in this case, I've already tell the program where I can find the model that I've developed. And next is we will be loading the model in. Oops. Open. Model 1 RB. Oops. Let me just check that correction syntax correct. Yep. Oops. Model, and then load underscore pickle female. All right. Pickle load open model 2. And then, so my model is loaded. So now I want to create the application object. And this is the Fast API object, and that's done right. Okay. And then once you've created that, oops, I don't know why it should be doing that. No. Okay, and then I will. This is to run the main program. To run the server, uvicorn.run, okay, app, basically calling the object there, and then host 0.0.0.0. Okay, then port integer. I don't need this for now. I don't need this. So maybe I can just port 8080 for now. All right, so if we run this, and we can run it here, there, content.py. Yes, from I'm expecting it to run. It doesn't complain of any dependencies. Okay, good. Okay, so we have the web server locally running. And now let's put in, let's do all the magic in. All right, so what I can do here is I will tell it to, we'll assign a decorator here. When it hits this endpoint, do the following: asynchronous define index function. Turn as a JSON string, welcome text Brunei population estimate API. Okay, so let's just test that first. Run the server again. Okay, and then I should go to my localhost, local, if I can spell 80. There you go. All right. So this is hitting that particular endpoint. Okay. So next, is if we here, if I use predict and something, this is running in cloud. It gives you that object. If you do similarly here, predict 2020, there's nothing. It doesn't know what to give it. So that's what we're going to program. We'll put it back in here. Get create the endpoint predict, and then a variable of here. So when you hit that, do the following. Predict function here as an integer. We don't want people to pass some nasty strings on it. So first it will do predict male. So it will load the pixel object. Oops, male here, and then it will do predict here. So I don't know if you noticed, but we use this when we were in Google Colab, just to use to predict the particular year. So we're using that again. We are using that again. Using it here. Similarly, you can do for female as well. Okay, female. Refer to the female object. Some real estate there, and then now we want to do the total. The total can be done like this, like such. Predict male. I wish I can explain why you need to put in this funky looking, array thingy, but I don't think I have the time for that. But we can have a chat of this after this if you want. So basically what it does is it will grab the number here, from here, and it will plus that. And then we're going to ask it to return the results. And that's done by male, str, round, we need to round it first, predict male, and do this again. Right, and next, did I do it correctly? Yep. Okay, here, and then for female, similarly, it's just female. Female, and then finally, if you recall, we want it to give the total. Total as a string. Round total, since we're expecting total to be already the number. Okay, so that should be working. Let's try to run that. Let's pop that server first. Hello. Okay. All right. Let's run that again. Hopefully it doesn't complain. Great. Okay. Now if we go back here, and if you do something similar, not yet. Okay, why is that? Did someone spot anything wrong in my code? Predict. Oh yeah, slash here. Okay. Run it again. Okay, there you go. Hopefully this works now. Yay, okay. That's the second part. Oh well, that's the second part done. How many minutes we have, Gia? 2:30. Okay. I don't think I'll be able to deploy to GCP in time. We'll see. So next, we want to Dockerize it. Have anyone heard of containers here? Docker containers. Oh, apart from you as well. Anyone else? Okay, so container is really the talk of, I guess, the last 5 years. It has been a popular subject for the past 5 years. The reason why is it makes it easy to package your codes and run it, and making sure that all the dependencies are there. I hope we'll have more opportunities to talk about container and Dockers and even Kubernetes if there's any chance. So we'll do that. So the reason why we want to Dockerize it so that it's easy to us to deploy. And we can do that by, you need to have a Docker desktop installed first. So in fact, I don't know if anyone had the chance to look at it. I actually created this repo, I don't know, and there was supposed to be some instructions here, what you need to do. For example, having your toolkit you're going to follow along, the environment, the Docker desktop, and finally getting the SDK for GCP. But yeah, you need Docker desktop moving forward, and I already have it. I have that here. I hope you do. But before that, I need to make some changes to my codes. So essentially, it's actually here. I need to change, and I'll get to you. You know, if we get to that point, why? Full APT. Okay. Work. Yeah, so I need to change that because the reason why I'm doing this, once I push it to GCP, it'll get the port that instance is from the environment variable automatically. Yeah, I think we should be good to go. So how we can Dockerize that is, let me see. You need to create a Docker file here, Docker file, and then there are certain things that you wanted to do. So let me just explode to this. Sorry, 3.8. So I will, if you're going to build a program, you'll need a machine, you need an environment. So in Docker's language, you want to grab an image, the Python image, which is a small miniature version of your VM. It's not actually a VM technically, but you can imagine it's a VM. It's a small one. It has Python in it. And the reason why we need Python is because, as you can see, our code base is primarily in Python. And then we will specify the work directory. What this does is, I will tell that Docker machine, that Docker image, to set the working directory as this. And then I want to copy my API. Oh yeah, I need to have this in that folder. So put that in, move, put that in there, move. Okay, so I want my Docker machine, when it's building that image, it will copy this, because this is where our code base is. All right, and then put that in our working directory in the container machine and in the image. And then once it's building, I want it to install the following dependencies: Fast API, Unicorn, and Scikit-Learn. Right, and then run the command Python app.py. So what this is, you saw me going here and keeping on running this Python manatia. It's this Python app.py. I'm actually doing that here in my Docker container, and that runs the server. All right. So next, what I need to do, hopefully, if I do that right, I can start to build this. We don't need the web server anymore. We don't need it anymore. Okay. So we have the Docker file there, Docker build. I forgot already. Docker build, yeah. Well, we can tag this as a demo app, and we can give a version 0.1, and this just specifies in that current working directory. You can find the Docker file. When it does that, it should be building. Okay, good. It's building. That looks good. So what you can see here is Docker starts to make an image for me. It goes to the internet. It knows, oh, Musaddiq wants this libraries installed, and installing that, blah blah blah, and it's there. Now, if I Docker PS or Docker image list, I think Okay, Docker image. I should have this one demo app here, the one that we built. Okay, oh, it's quite big, huh? Interesting. And then we can. Okay, so before pushing it to cloud, we can run it locally. And how we can do that is Docker run. Docker run interactive. Do I need interactive? Boleh lah. Okay lah, we'll run interactive, and then we'll publish the port. What port would I publish? Is it 8080? Yeah, 8080. And then demo app. 0.1. Did it not run? Wait. Okay. Sorry. It should be app, not API. Okay, I have to build that again. I will build that again. building. Because he wasn't able to find my app.py because I wrongly spelled it out. So once I've demonstrated this, I'll skip deploying to GCP on the command line. I'll just show what my thought process is of what it does, and then we'll open for a question and answer. Okay, and then we can publish it. Hopefully it works. Okay, I have to go here because I made a mistake here, and then I have to rebuild it again. There must be an easier way to do it, to rebuild it. So, okay. All right. Hopefully everyone is entertained of my, this live coding disaster. It's always an entertainment when you see better you than us. Okay. Okay. Getting there. Takes a while, huh? Okay, it finishes. Let's publish it. Let's run it and publish it. Where is it? Where are you? Where are you? Here. Okay. Runs. Oh my God. What's wrong here? What is wrong here? Let me just check my code. So yeah, there must. What did I do wrong? App.py was complaining here. Okay. Okay, build it again. It's part of the process, until you get it right. Hopefully this is the last time. So what I'm expecting to see once it's built, it'll just be the same with me as me serving my web server that I did last time. Let's see, where is it? And okay, please work. Yes. Okay. Yep. So that's a positive sign. Now I can go to localhost. The same local host, this one. Well, yeah, I'll just run it again, and you can see it's there. I don't think this is cache. Probably not. Let's try. Yeah, and then so this is basically coming from Docker container. Okay, so that runs. And why is it useful? You might ask. Okay, so I don't think I have time to show it why, but if you've seen, so Google Cloud Platform, they have Google Cloud Run, and you can see here, I created a new, what do you call this, project or instance, and then I just push my code here. I didn't do anything. I didn't have to SSH into it, I didn't have to provision a VM. I don't have to SSH into it and then manually transfer my code. I just tell them, okay, via command line, gcloud, something, and it pushes and it builds it. and I can show you that it's building. Okay, so what I've done here, I've actually linked it to my GitHub repo, my private GitHub repo, and let me do that here. I have another repo, which is this one. This is my private one. I haven't opened it, but I'm planning after I clean it up, I'll open source this so that people can see it. So let's say I wanna right now. This is the endpoint. Yep, this is the one running. So Brunei Test Population Estimate API, and that's exactly how I see it here. My API there. Okay. So now let's say hello, fun, disastrous live demo. Okay, I do that, and then I commit changes, and then when you go back to here, so let me see that. Yeah, I think you see it's building. So it's actually building, blah blah blah, and then you can see whatever you see here, whatever you saw here, it was building that image, the container. And soon enough, like right now, let's run that. It's still there, but once it's done, once it is done, let's just give it a while. Once it's done, just taking a while. Hope it works. Because funny story, you know what? I made this work on October 4th using Python 3.8, and then a few days after that, I was wondering, wait, what? You know, why is my build failing? And then turns out I had to troubleshoot this until 4 a.m. yesterday, trying to find what's the reason. And turns out, because last time I did this Python, the tag as latest, so instead of 3.8, so it's picking up the 3.9, because Python released Python 3.9 on 5th apparently, and that's when it failed. And yeah, so that was a bit, sorry, yeah, sorry.
There's a question in the chat.
Okay, sorry, I didn't, how do I get there? Okay. Okay, I might have referred that wrongly. Let me see, the number of male and female is the same there, but the dataset displays different values. Which one? Is it here or here? Okay, I might have wrongly pointed the, let's go to the, did I do it wrong? Where is it? Okay, I don't know why it does that. Sorry? Yeah, maybe from the pickle file, from when I generate that. Because if you look, yeah, maybe that's because I was rushing through. I didn't pay particular attention to there. But let's see. Let's try this one. Let's refresh that. It should change now. Oops, still there. Okay, still okay. What we can do? Let's test this out. This one, the one that I have. Yeah. So this one shows differently. So male is this number, female is this number. So it must have been I must have mistakenly, grabbed the wrong pickle, perhaps. But yeah, I think that's all I have to show. Is there any question? Well, answering your question will be until it finish building. Any question? Yes. Yeah.
How do we get started with learning this kind of thing, machine learning, data science? Like,
okay.
how do we? Because I don't really understand this.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. So my recommendation, if you're interested in data science, you can. The good thing about the latest, the present time now is that we can straight away try it. Go to YouTube, Google data science EDA, exploratory data analysis, and that should you'll see a lot of people people showing tutorials around it, and there's plenty of data sets that you can play around up there. For example, the Titanic dataset, the Iris dataset, the MNIST dataset. Okay, I'll get back to your question. So you can see here that the build is done. So if you go back to here, if you hit the index, the home page, there you go. So it automatically updated that. So this is in a way CI/CD DevOps kind of giving you a flavor of what although this is not entirely it, but yeah. But the fact that you can just push your code to your repo and it automatically builds it without having to SSH to it is kind of like nifty. And on your question, let me just YouTube. I'll just go to YouTube. For example, DDA, MNIST, for example. And MNIST dataset is one dataset that people like to do tutorials about. You can also, for example, Titanic dataset. There's a lot. What else? Iris dataset. So this will, and there's a lot of tutorials out there. So this is, this is a start. If you wanna, and then from there you can learn more things. You'll be aware of more things in this field. Any more question?
Curious about your setup through your GCP and GitHub. Is that standard build sort of thing where you are able to just connect straight to GCP or what?
Yeah. Let me see if I can. So if you go here, there's a CI. Where is it? No, not here. Where are you? Okay. If you go here, Cloud Run. So basically on top here, there's this edit continuous development, and that's where you can link your GitHub repo. I think that's where I did it from.
And it's like in the input case as well, just like your GitHub was just source code, right?
Yeah.
The Docker file there as well.
Yeah.
Just source code. So
Yeah.
it runs it based on what, like, which Docker container.
Okay. So if you look at the, I think if you look here,
So there was a Docker file.
yeah, there's a Docker file. So you just have to, deploy it here.
Under GCP, just mentioned that this is taking this Docker file and moving it.
Yeah. So it just reads in this, and it knows the rest of the steps. So but basically, if this shows up, there'll be a edit continuous development here somewhere. One more question? Yes.
To do the question about the comment on what you said earlier.
Okay.
So earlier this week, I faced the same issue as you did.
Yeah.
So things were just working as normal, and
Yeah.
suddenly the Python version changed.
Yeah, I know, right?
So
It's
my
annoying.
lesson from that was, I think it's very important for us to indicate the versions. of
Exactly,
the code
yes.
we're using, prevent that.
Yeah. So I learned that the hard way last night when I had to stay up until 4 a.m. So that's when you see, I guess, since we have time, you can see my comment. Okay, well, once you see the repo, you'll see I push it somewhere at midnight, and then at 4 a.m. or something, I push it again, update in case people want to refer to that things here. Let me see. Yeah. So this one, let me see if I can. Where's my commits? Wait, is it pull request? No, not pull request. How do I find the commit history? Here, ka. Right. Go back.
Right under the green button, 7 minutes.
Mana?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, manat yeah. So things. Yeah, I know, right? But yeah. Basically, I learned that the hard way, and then that's why I version all my dependencies now. Let me see. Yeah. So that's before this there was just no version. Okay. Any more questions? Sorry. Thanks for the advice. All good? Any online? Is there any question online? Mm-hmm.
What are the applications for the machine learning model? This language application.
Sorry?
The real world application for the machine learning model.
Oh yeah. For example, to predict house price. That's the most popular application. To predict stock price is one. That's basically using linear regression. I see another question here. Can you share some real life projects you have done in your career? Well, yeah, we've done So my background is as a rotating equipment engineer. I was also machinery diagnostic for equipment. So we built, in DSP, we built machine learning solution to predict equipment anomalies when it's going to fail. In this case, gas compressors and the likes of that. There's also other area that we do in the field of NLP. I don't have time to share the details on that, and among others as well. Okay, I hope that answers the question. Any more question?
You can check the Q&A section.
Yeah, here it is.
Just a quick one. Just wondering if you've also employed just in raw shell.
No, not yet, because we have data export restriction. The data export restriction, we can't put our data elsewhere outside Brunei. Yeah, so I have to be on premise. It's, yeah, I guess it's still
for people higher up.
yes, it's an evolving subject perhaps, and we'll see what the future lies.
I think there's a lot of cases that people saying you can do it. It's just a matter of like legalese and the powers that be saying whether they accept it or not. Right?
Yeah. I see, Gia. Yeah, that ends the session. Yes, so we'll just exit. Okay, thank you, everyone. Hopefully that was entertaining.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Okay, bye. Thank you.